Saturday morning, I got a call from Nathan saying that I needed to meet him at an Office Max off one of the busy roads in Vancouver. At first, I thought he'd run out of gas or something, but he told me just to come and meet him, so I didn't ask any questions. When I got there, we got into his car and he blindfolded me. We drove for about 45 minutes. When I finally got to take the blindfold off, I had no idea where we were. Even when I figured out it was an airstrip, it still didn't make sense that he would take me there.
We walked around until we met up with a man near one of the sheds. "You must be Sarah," he said. "Are you ready to do some flying today?" It was Gary Mills, an old scoutmaster and friend of mine. He introduced himself and showed us his flight club's 2 airplanes. At this time, Sarah was very happy. Gary explained to Sarah that we were going to fly to Mount Hood for a good view.
I thought that was particularly funny because the night before, when I had asked Nathan what we should do the next day, he told me that we should go to Mount Hood. I laughed that off because it was so far away. The skies were cloudy and Gary Mills wasn't sure we'd actually be able to fly, but we went up anyway, hoping that it would clear up. I sat in the co-pilot's seat and Nathan sat in the back with his video camera. Once in the air, Mr. Mills told me to take the controls and that I could steer the plane. Fortunately, before long, the sky did clear up and we were able to do some real flying.
We flew up out of the blankets of clouds and took a look at the view. It was so beautiful. Sarah guided the plane through the rolling hills and up to Mount Hood. I could see several mountains in the distance. It was breathtaking.
I had a really good time flying, even though I was kind of nervous about having the controls like that. We flew past the mountain, through the Columbia Gorge, and then to Vancouver. We landed on a little airstrip that just so happened to be across the street from the Office Max where I'd left my car earlier.
Sarah was very happy, but then I told her the excitement wasn't over yet. Next, we drove to Lacamas Lake, where we went on our first date.
I took him down a trail he'd never been on before. There were leaves on the ground that had fallen off the trees, and they were heart-shaped, so to be cute, I picked one up and gave it to Nathan and told him that he could have my heart. He looked at me and said, "Oh, really?"
I responded by telling her that I love her so much that I proved to her that both land and air couldn't stop me from asking her to be my wife.
I realized for the first time that he was going to propose and was really surprised by it. I don't even remember much of what he actually said because I was too taken back by the whole thing.
I knelt down in the mud and held up a diamond ring. Of course she was elated. The nice thing was she didn't expect it.
I told him, "Of course." Then we hugged for a while as the realization actually hit me. It was all very exciting. Exactly the kind of proposal I always wanted.
In the evening, to celebrate, I took her to the fanciest restaurant she has ever been to. It's called Amadeus and is located in a restored castle right on the river. We dressed up nice and had a romantic candlelight dinner with a grand piano echoing through the floors of the restaurant. A perfect way to end a perfect day.